guys, today's lecture will cover how to delineate a watershed. But before we start, do you know what a watershed is? Have you ever thought about it? So, introduction. So what is a watershed? By definition, it's an area of land bounded by ridges and valleys, which drain water towards a point. This point is referred to as an outlet. Another way to think of it is it's an area of land which drains water to a specific point, which is the outlet. The area is composed of ridges which drain towards valleys. The schematic shows a generalized watershed outlined in black. The red dot denotes the outlet of the watershed. The dashed lines show the valleys of the watershed. So today we need to learn how to use topographic maps to depict the watershed. Therefore, our learning objectives for today's lesson are: first, how to delineate a watershed, and second, how to read a topographic map. Now it's time to learn how to delineate a watershed. Either find the topographic maps located in your note packet around page 25, or use the PDF that I have provided with the digital lecture material within Blackboard. Pause the video until you have found the necessary resources. I have brought a copy of the topographic map of Burbank Canyon to discuss how to read topographic maps. Before a watershed can be delineated, one needs to be able to identify the outlet. On this topographic map, there's a reservoir located at the lower right corner. I have placed a single red dot to depict the outlet of this watershed. Next, in order to delineate the watershed, you need to determine the number of locations that you're interested in. You may be interested in a single location, for example, at a bridge or a confluence. We all have seen bridges over waterways, but do you know what a confluence is? A confluence is where two streams meet. That location is called a confluence, as shown in the topographic map. Another term that you need to understand is a tributary. On this topographic map, the main stream I've highlighted is Cobalt Canyon. The stream that enters Cobalt Canyon is called a tributary. There are times when you may need to determine the flow rate at multiple locations. This might occur at catch basins along a road. You need to make sure that you have enough catch basins so the road does not flood. Catch basins will typically intercept the flow and divert the water into a storm drain. Finally, before you can delineate a watershed, you must be able to identify the difference between a valley and a ridge. It is important to note that water is collected in valleys while ridges repel water away. The following two sets of contour lines will be used to explain what a valley and a ridge is. Can you tell which one is the valley and which one is the ridge? Remember that the valley collects water while the ridge will divert water away. These contours depict a valley. Now let's read the topographic map. A topographic map may have different contours. These contours represent a three-dimensional object in a two-dimensional space. As you can see highlighted, 2200 is a contour. Next, you see I'm highlighting 1800. So you see the 1800 and the 2200. If you count the number of contour lines between it, you will see that there are 10. This means that each contour represents 40 feet. The darker contour lines represent 200 feet difference. Now you need to understand the difference of the valley and ridge within the topographic map. The highlighted area near Burbank Canyon represents a valley. Pause your video and look at your contour map. Make sure you understand the elevations and why this is so. The following contour lines represent a ridge. Again, pause the video and look at your contour map. Make sure you understand the elevations and why this is so. The Burbank Canyon represents the main valley or stream for this watershed. In order to help depict a watershed, it's important to see additional valleys that drain towards Burbank Canyon, or valleys that are tributary to Burbank Canyon. The following are numerous valleys that will drain directly into Burbank Canyon. These valleys will help us understand what the overall watershed looks like. Pause the video. Can you help find the valleys on your topographic map? Next, find the high points within Burbank Canyon. There are many high points on this topographic map. However, I only need the high points located around and near the watershed. I have found a few and have marked them with an X. Now it's time to start to delineate the watershed. Start at the outlet and follow the ridge on one side. Go all the way until the contour lines changes, or at a high point. Now go to the other side. Go all the way until the contour line changes again. You need to try and connect the two ends. You cannot just draw a straight line to connect the watershed. You need to continue to go perpendicular to the contours as you had before. You will notice that you will be going up and down along the contours. These are saddles within the watershed. Continue to go around until you have met the watershed. What you have just drawn is the watershed for Burbank Canyon, which drains towards the reservoir. So when do you subdivide a watershed? Let's bring back our Burbank Canyon watershed that we had done before. I'm drawing a location where I'm interested in additional flow. We will draw ridges on we will draw the boundary following the ridges on either side of the watershed until we hit the basin divide. Now our watershed is split in half. Now you will see the two distinct areas. For further delineation, we want to find the flow rate that hits that red dot at Burbank Canyon. Now we have three distinct areas. For further help on watershed delineations, I have placed a handout in your note packet from the NRCS, which explains how to delineate a watershed. Review this before our next class. Prior to our next class, I want you to practice your watershed delineation skills. Find the two topographic maps in the note packet. They are located around page 26. Next, the topograph for Burbank Canyon, which we just used, and Wolf Canyon are the two I want you to practice with. I have identified the two locations with dots on this particular video that I'm interested in you delineating. Please bring your delineated watershed to our next class section. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all real soon. If you have any questions, please email me directly.